You're all puppets, tangled in strings. Strings.
I was designed to save the world.
What's up, guys? So Avengers Age of Ultron is the sequel to the 2012 film The Avengers, which was the biggest box office opening weekend of all time and the third most successful film of all time. And this film, once again, is written and directed by Joss Whedon, stars a whole ton of people: Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, James Spader as Ultron. All of these people are just in this movie, and what it, like, it's crazy how many people are in this thing. What the story basically is Tony Stark, he's, you know, he wants to help the people, and he wants to, you know, do everything he can to keep the people safe. So him and Bruce Banner, they create this artificial intelligence called the Ultron program, and they call him Ultron, and he's supposed to be this kind of artificial intelligence to save the human race and to protect the human race. And when Ultron comes to be, Ultron, he thinks the only way to save the human race is to kill everyone and to have extinction and start from nothing. But pretty much what happens is now the Avengers have to go up against Ultron because he's, you know, he pretty much wants to wipe out the human population. Going into this movie, you know, you guys know that if you see my Avengers review, it's up on this channel. I loved it. I loved the Avengers. The first one was fantastic. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I loved it. You know, what Joss Whedon did with that movie was fantastic. So in this one, going into it, the expectations were high. And leaving the theater, I was extremely pleased with this film. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a great movie. I just want to tell you guys what I really enjoyed about the film. And, you know, some of those things being, you know, just the chemistry between all these actors. You know, it just seems like a family. Like, everyone cares about what they're doing, and just all the performances in this film are absolutely phenomenal. And the way Joss Whedon wrote, you know, lines for these characters. Joss Whedon knows how to craft such wonderful dialogue for these characters to go off of, and I think it was fantastic, and it's funny. This movie, I mean, the humor from the first one is back. This film has a lot of humor, and it works. Some of the things that Ultron says, you know, he has a sense of humor, and I wasn't expecting that out of Ultron. I mean, I thought he was just going to be this menacing bad guy, but no, he's got some funny lines. You have the new members, you know, you have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen. And I think, you know, we saw a bit of them at the end of The Winter Soldier and, like, the post-credits or whatever. So this is really the first time we see them in a full-length feature film. And I actually really enjoyed their characters. I actually think Scarlet Witch is, I think she's pretty cool. I mean, I might even say I like her better than Black Widow. And I've only seen this girl once. And I don't know. I think she's, I don't know, it's just entertaining what she does with her, you know, powers of the, whatever it is, all the red stuff that she goes that flies everywhere. I think that's pretty cool. And Quicksilver is also really cool, and if you're wondering which one is better, which one do I think is better from X-Men Days of Future Past and this one, I don't know. I really can't say, because in Days of Future Past, you get to see Quicksilver for maybe like 10 minutes of the whole movie, of that film. Now, don't get me wrong, that's probably, in my opinion, the best scene in Days of Future Past. But in this one, you get more of his character and, you know, what happened to this guy as a child and, you know, maybe why he's doing what he's doing in the film. And then you actually care about him. I think when the end of the movie, you know, comes, you care about the new additions. And I really enjoyed some of the things they did with Hawkeye in this film. He has a lot of screen time, a lot more screen time in the first one, and he's actually normal in this film. He's not, you know, his mind isn't being played with or anything. He is Hawkeye, and he's, you know, normal in this movie. Some of the things that happen with his character, maybe you're not even expecting. and it's very surprising, but it works. I mean, I enjoyed what they did and what Joss Whedon did with Hawkeye. I actually really enjoyed that, and everybody's past. I mean, you get to see a little bit more of Natasha Romanoff's past. You know, Black Widow. You get to see some of Thor going on this sort of side mission almost that I think is going to kind of play into Thor Ragnarok, which is going to be really cool. You get to see, you know, all these. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's fantastic. I mean, it's just the way that it was done. It was great. And the pacing of the film, not a moment in this movie feels slow. It always feels fast, and it's quickly paced, and the action is fantastic, especially the scene between the Hulkbuster and the Hulk. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but that scene is absolutely fantastic, and I loved it. It was a great scene, so entertaining, and I think they did a really good job at that. And there's actually some humor in that scene as well, and it's great. I loved it. Another new addition that is coming into this film is Paul Bettany. We actually get to see him on the screen as Vision. And I'm not going to get into too much of what his character is, because that might be giving away too much. But I just want to say what they did with him and how he comes to be and everything like that. They did a really good job with Vision. I think he's a cool character. Paul Bettany did a really good job bringing him to life. I mean, I liked it, and just the way how he comes to life. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's pretty cool. And personally, for me, I love the music and the theme that Alan Silvestri created for the first film. I think that's great music, and I loved it, especially like the end credits, right when they start, you know, all that stuff. And the way the film ends, the first one. And the music is great. I loved it. And there was a lot of concerns whether we'd be hearing those same melodies and tunes in this film because they've changed the composer. It's not Alan Silvestri anymore. It's Brian Tyler and Danny Elfman. And I am extremely happy to say that that theme is present. You hear it in the film a couple of times, and I'm very happy about that. There's not really that many things that I didn't like about the movie. I mean, there's just, in the beginning of the film, there's one sort of thing that happens, like the way Ultron comes to be. I felt as though it was extremely rushed. Like, it happened way too fast. I mean, we haven't heard this thing speak once. And once it starts, you know, once Ultron actually, we hear him, it's like you're pretty much already evil. You know, I mean, it's like okay, let's just get into it, you know. I mean, I didn't mind it that much, but as a critic reviewing the movie, that is one of the things that makes it not a perfect film. It was rushed at that point. And there's only one line in the whole movie that bothered me. It made me it really made me cringe. But there's something towards the end that the Black Widow says to the Hulk. I'm not going to spoil the scene or the line or anything like that, but I felt it was like really cheesy. And it just didn't fit in with any other of the lines in the movie. I just thought it was like, well, that was cheesy. Let's move on. You know, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was a little cheesy. Overall, this is a really great movie. In my opinion, I like the first one a bit more, but not much more. Like, you have Avengers here and you have Age of Ultron like right here. Like, they're neck and neck. This is a entertaining movie. It's great. I loved it. I really did. I loved the movie, and I'm going 4.5 out of 5 stars. But like I said, don't get me wrong, this is a phenomenal film. So guys, this is kind of a silly question, but do you plan on seeing Avengers Age of Ultron? Comment your thoughts in the comment section, and subscribe to this channel for, you know, reviews coming in the future, Blu-ray unboxings coming in the future, all sorts of things are coming up, and, you know, this film definitely sets up for, like I said, Thor Ragnarok. It's setting up for Civil War, you know, which is going to be good. And don't leave. Once the credits start, don't go anywhere. Just sit there. There is a post-credit scene. It's not long. It's maybe 25, 30 seconds long. But don't go anywhere because it's awesome. And I want to, like, I can't. Like, you guys just experience it for yourselves. Also, I got this pretty sick shirt. I mean, it wasn't that expensive either. It was like at Walmart for like 10 bucks. So, yeah, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Guys, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you subscribe. Over and out.